A young man plummets from a remote mountain peak. There are absolutely no cameras around to record the fatal fall, and the only other person at the edge is the fiancé, who claims she was looking away. When a fatal incident happens in complete isolation, the truth usually disappears with the victim. But in a courtroom, human silence is replaced by circumstantial evidence, a trail of indirect clues that tell the story the suspects won't. I'm channel, Ravi Legal. We break down complex investigations to show you exactly how the law separates a tragic accident from a calculated crime. On June 18, 2026, businessman Ketan Agarwal fell to his death in a deep gorge at Lohagad Fort. His fiancée, Sia Goyal, told the police his foot slipped while he was posing for a photo at the cliff's edge. Because they were alone, the defense had a significant advantage. Without a witness to contradict her story, the police initially had to file an accidental death report. But lying requires more mental effort than telling the truth. According to cognitive load theory, because a lie has to be constantly managed and updated, the suspect's story often begins to fracture when they are asked to repeat it multiple times. As investigators pressed Saya for details, the physical sequence of the fall and the timing of her movements began to change. This deception leakage was the specific trigger that allowed police to escalate the case from an accident to a murder investigation. CCTV from the fort's entrance revealed a man trailing the couple. Despite the 33-degree summer heat, he wore a heavy hoodie to cover his face, and Saya was caught on camera using hand signals to coordinate his movements as they climbed toward the summit. This chart shows the hidden communication line police uncovered through call detail records. Saya and her secret boyfriend, Chetan, had shared 2,004 phone calls, totaling over 230 hours in the months leading up to the death. To hide his presence at the fort, Chetan left his own phone at his shop and carried a device belonging to an employee. He also intentionally disabled the internet to avoid leaving a GPS trail. Under criminal law, these actions are categorized as preparation and attempt to destroy evidence. These aren't just suspicious behaviors. They provide the concrete proof of criminal intent required to prosecute. If you're finding this legal breakdown valuable, subscribe to the channel for more advocate-led case studies. But we are still left with the central legal challenge. How do you prove a murder without a single witness to the actual push? The Bhartiya Sakshya Adhiniyam 2023 provides the answer. It explicitly validates circumstantial evidence, meaning indirect facts are legally sufficient for a conviction if they are properly linked. In the landmark Sharad Birdie Chand Sarda case, the Supreme Court established that circumstantial evidence must form an unbroken chain. Every link must be proven, and the final sequence must point to only one possible conclusion. To secure a verdict, the prosecution must prove 4 specific pillars: motive, preparation, electronic corroboration, and post-event conduct. Between Sia's internet search history for murder methods, the CCTV hand signals, and Chetan's spoofed location data, investigators locked the chain together. When these facts exclude every other reasonable explanation, the chain provides the legal foundation for a guilty verdict. In the eyes of the court, this complete sequence replaces the need for a witness, meeting the high standard of proof for a life sentence. Sia's motive was driven by psychological reactance. Because she felt her personal freedom was being taken away by a forced marriage, she chose to rebel aggressively against a life her parents had chosen. From a legal standpoint, feeling trapped in an engagement is never a justification for violence. She had the option to tell the truth or break the relationship, but she chose a path that the law treats with zero leniency. Then there is Chetan. He had no personal rivalry or business dispute with the victim, leading some to ask if he is less responsible for the death. Section 34 of the law, which defines common intention, answers this. Because he met with Saya, planned the coordination, and physically delivered the push, he is treated as a primary attacker. The law punishes the shared criminal mind, the mens rea, and the unified act. It doesn't matter who did more. If you are part of the plan, you are part of the crime. This case highlights why relying on family reputation alone is no longer enough. In the modern era, arranged marriages require the same rigorous background checks and transparency as any other major life commitment. Saya's plan relied on the assumption that her private actions would remain invisible. But while she managed to manipulate her social circle, her digital footprint and physical movements were being logged by a legal system designed to see through calculated deception.
For more advocate-led analysis of the legal frameworks behind major investigations, subscribe and follow Ravi Legal.